Hello guys, I'm glad to see you. Today we'll be talking about rational inequalities and how to solve them. So let's get started. First of all, let's talk about inequality symbols. Here are they, you can see them. And the first symbol means greater than, and this symbol means less than. So both two symbols are strict symbols, and when the inequality has strict symbols, we use round brackets. And next are non-strict symbols. They are greater than or equal to. As you can see, there the sign looks like equal, and less than or equal to. Both of them are non-strict symbols, and when the inequality has non-strict symbols, we use straight brackets. So let's continue our lesson. Every inequality, every function written in form, for example, P of x divided by Q of x. Let's put here inequality sign, let it be less than 0, or it may be less than or equal to, or P of x divided by Q of x greater or equal to 0. Every inequality written in this form is called rational inequality. Let me give an example. For example, x plus 1 times x plus 2 divided by x plus 3 times x plus 4. Let it be greater than 0. So this is rational inequality. Now, here's the main question: how to solve rational inequality? How to solve, let me write it shortly. So, rational inequality. So we have multiple steps that we have to follow. So, step 1. Make sure that every inequality, every expressions are on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, you must have only 0. For example, if you have P of x divided by Q of x is greater than 1, it is not the right case. You must have every expression on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, you must have only 0. So what do we do now? In this case, we do P of x divided by Q of x. We take plus 1 to the left-hand side, so its sign changes to minus, to the negative. So minus 1 is greater than 0. So this is the right case. The first step that we have to follow is this. And step 2. Second step. Now we have to find zeros of the function. We've learned multiple methods for solving. For example, if you have a quadratic function, you know how to solve it. So step 2 is finding the zeros of the inequality. Find zeros of rational inequality. And here note that the denominator part cannot be equal to 0. Denominator must not be equal to 0. And step 3. After finding the sign of the coefficient of the leading part, you may construct a sign chart. Construct a sign chart. After a few minutes, we'll solve an example, and there I will show you how to do it. So let's look at the example. given any inequality, for example, x minus 8 divided by x plus 1 is, let it be, greater or equal to 0. How to do it? To follow the steps. Step 1, first, we must be sure that every expression is written on the left-hand side, and as long as we have 0 on the right-hand side, so it is correct. So second, we have to find zeros of the inequality. We solve it such as an equation. First case, we have x minus 8 is equal to 0. So first is x1 is equal to 8. Second, x plus 1 is equal to 0. Actually, it is not equal to 0, but as long as we are finding the zeros of the function, let's continue like this. X is equal to minus 1. Note that we've said that the denominator part cannot be equal to 0. So when we point this root at the sign chart, we use non-filled point, and as long as round brackets. So third, now we can construct sign chart. What about the sign of the coefficient of the leading part? Let me show it. In the denominator, we have sign plus here. The variable sign is plus divided by, in the denominator, also we have plus. Plus divided plus is equal to plus negative. So we start from the plus, from negative sign. And let's draw here a sign chart. So our inequality, x minus 8 divided by x plus what it was x plus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. So here, let me write roots of the inequality, zeros of the inequality in ascending order. Starts from the minus infinity. Here we have minus 1, and here we have 8 till plus infinity. So look, we've said that denominator part must not equal to 0, so we point minus 1 by non-filled point. And we can point 8 with a filled circle because the symbol is non-strict symbol. So we used filled points. So now we've said that we start and when we sign the inequality, the sign chart, we start from the right to the left, and we start from plus sign. Note that odd number of roots changes the sign, plus to the minus and the minus to the plus, because here we have an odd number of roots. So what about the answer? Answer is here. As long as our function is greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0, so we take the positive regions. Positive regions, as long as positive are greater than 0. And here they are. So now finally, I can write the answer. So x, let me write it with the black color. X is element of starting from minus infinity till minus 1. And we close the brackets with round brackets because here we have a non-filled circle. Union, and it means and. We use straight brackets because we have filled circle starting from 8 till plus infinity. And that is the answer. So that's the end of our lesson. For more examples, watch my another video. Please stay healthy.